break a sweat in the dressing room. So I think the first round very important.
So what do you think? Advantage Lewis?
First round is going to be a very important round. First round advantage McCall, despite the fact that he looks like a nervous wreck to me. When you have that nervous energy early, Jim, first round can be very important.
Last second delay, a towel draped across the ropes just above our announced position here. So after some unusual moments, and they seem to crop up in every heavyweight championship fight, here we go. Lewis standing like a statue, much as he did at the beginning of his flawed defense against Bruno a year ago. Lewis's most ardent supporters want to see him move, jab, and box. Use his extraordinary athletic talent. McCall trying to find the range to punch up at the bigger man. Lewis pawing with the jab as he did through much of the fight against Phil Jackson in May.
Hey! Hey! I've already seen the hand of Emmanuel Stewart as far as McCall is concerned. I watched films of McCall. I never saw him throw a left hook, but he did try one already in this fight.
Emmanuel Stewart has worked with McCall during the past couple of weeks as an assistant trainer and technical advisor. Says that his man will show a variety of different styles during the fight tonight to try to confuse Lewis. He thinks Lewis is easily confused.
And Lewis is fighting with his feet very wide apart.
Lewis tried a right hand to the body, not a lot of conviction behind it. Hasn't yet thrown the sharp jab, which is his best. Mostly just sticking it out there.
Hey! Hey!
It's been a slow start for Lewis, and McCall seems to be waiting for the big man to try to do something. Lewis misses with the right. McCall gets a right hand to the body inside.
Good counter by McCall. Another right hand to the body by McCall. Hey!
And a little left hook there.
Stop! Stop! Hey! The worst thing that Lewis can do is to try to wrestle with McCall.
Right hand lands from McCall over the top. He misses to the body as Lewis backs away. Now Lewis begins to throw the jab with a little bit more intent.
Dropping that left hand, Lewis. Hey! Hey! All this wrestling can really sap your stamina, though, and that's, again, McCall has been known to have very, very good stamina.
If the first round is a prototype, so far it's a good one for Oliver McCall. Lennox Lewis hasn't really established anything in round one.
Look good, baby. Sit down. Move down for me. You're looking good, okay? Fighting a very intelligent fight, and you're taking this next punch away from him in the right hand. You shot it twice, and every time you roll and counter. You caught him with it once the next time, but you're going to make him quit throwing it if you keep rolling and counter, okay? But when that little counter hook you're doing is working. It's clumsy, but it's working. When he jabs, how you know you're blocking and you're throwing a hook, keep doing it because it's not landing, but it's moving him all off balance. That's right, but you're moving him off balance when you throw that shot, okay?
This piece of shit up. Water. Ready? Okay. Stay with your jab. That's the keys. Oh, come on. Nice and easy there. 10 seconds. Here's the mouthpiece. Stay on the stick. Keep it in the circle. When he's inside, try to catch him with the uppercut coming in. Right? Okay.
Lewis threw more left hands and fewer right hands in the first round than we've seen him before, Gil. I thought it was by his own fight plan, but perhaps that's also the fight plan of Stewart.
And you know, Larry, down goes Lewis.
Lewis. left hand inside.
6, 7, 8, 9.
What is this? The WBC's referee has stopped this fight after a count to 9 with Lewis standing in front of him. And we're going to have a riot here. Jose Guadalupe Garcia stopped the fight in the second round. Oliver McCall is going absolutely nuts. The crowd at ringside momentarily stunned. And that's got to be one of the strangest stoppages I ever saw.
Certainly was. He was up at about the count of 5, wobbled a little bit, but then he seemed to be getting himself together. It was for the heavyweight championship of the world.
I can't believe what I just saw, but it's a WBC referee from Mexico. Jose Suleiman is the head of the WBC. He's from Mexico. He is Don King's best buddy. I think that very likely McCall might have finished Lennox Lewis.
I do
but
too.
Lennox Lewis, as the heavyweight champion, earned the right to be knocked out if that was how it was going to happen.
I count, now out, knockout.
Yeah, you stop the contest.
All right, let's take another look. Gil, you say it was a short right hand inside. I called it a left. But let's take a look at the punch that put Lewis down.
They're just moving around, sparring. Again, I had mentioned there's that right hand right on the button. Down goes Lewis.
Another look.
See, Lewis was fighting with that leg so far apart that he had to reach in with the right hand, and he got beat to the punch.
Well, his detractors have always said he has bad balance. But that's hardly a devastating punch. He was up by the count of 6 and certainly appeared capable of continuing in the fight. Referee Jose Guadalupe Garcia of Mexico City, working his 12th championship fight, according to the literature we're given, with Jose Suleiman, the WBC president, seated at ringside, stops the fight after 1 knockdown in the second round. And with that...
Well, once again, the best laid plans go awry for Lennox Lewis, but this time he has nobody to blame but himself.
Out the window goes the possibility of Lewis versus Bowe in March. Oliver McCall earns 1/3 of the heavyweight championship. Right now, let's go to ring announcer Mike Goodall for the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 31 seconds of round 2, the referee has counted out Lennox Lewis, the winner and new WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Oliver McCall.
I told you! This way! Give me my belt!
And still in the ring, the aftermath is confusion, chaos, uncertainty as to exactly how this has taken place. Now we are prohibited here from interviewing either fighter until medical examinations have been conducted by the British Boxing Authority's medical examiners. So momentarily we hope to get a chance to talk to both Lewis and McCall, and I'm sure that Larry Merchant will work as well toward an opportunity to hear from the referee, Jose Guadalupe Garcia. I've never seen him before. Don't know if you have, Larry, but he's just made a huge impression on the sport.
He sure has. You know, there have been some preliminary fights tonight, and we've seen a lot of very, very fast stoppages in some of the preliminary fights tonight. But this is really unusual. I'm not going to say it's unprecedented, but when you have a heavyweight championship fight, the heavyweight champion should have a chance to defend his title almost to the last breath. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this happened very early in the round. Lennox Lewis was hurt. His eyes were glazed. The chances are that Oliver McCall would have gotten to him and perhaps stopped him, most likely stopped him. But I think you have to give the heavyweight champion the benefit of the doubt.
You agree with Larry that a stoppage was possible? Indeed, Larry says probable in this instance?
Absolutely. I think that Lennox Lewis was badly hurt. He did manage to get up at 6, The reason they have a 10 count is for you to have 10 seconds to clear your head. When he went back into action, another few seconds, Lewis probably would have been okay. They should have given Lewis a chance to fight and also McCall a chance to really prove he's a champion by really finishing Lewis.
You've been around the fight game as long as anybody who's active right now. You ever seen this referee?
Never seen this referee, never.
All right. Let's take another look at the round. We're going to look at it via our handheld cameras in real time and get one more look at the sequence of events that led up to the stoppage of the fight. 31 seconds worth of round number 2.
And you can see Lewis with his legs so wide apart. When he throws that right hand, he has to reach.
And here it comes.
But beat to the punch, reaching in with that right hand. When you get caught coming in, you really get nailed, and he was nailed.
6, 7,
Legs are wobbly,
8,
clearly hurt
9.
at that point. And perhaps it was the fact that he put his body weight on the referee and leaned on the referee without being able to steady himself into an erect position that convinced the referee he should stop it.
Absolutely. He fell right into the referee. As a matter of fact, if the referee stepped aside, I think he would have fell down again.
All right. Maybe that was what led the referee to make his decision. Meanwhile, I'm told that Larry is standing by with the new WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Oliver McCall. Larry.
All right, Oliver, congratulations. Was that a move that you had been looking to put over when he started his left to come over with the right?
Well, I talked to Mike Tyson on the phone before I went to fight. He kept on saying, throw left hooks, throw left hooks. Once I saw that I was throwing a good left hook, I knew he was going to try the right hand because I knew once I hit him a couple of times, he got scared, he started holding on, he saw my power. I was waiting for him to throw the right hand. I was practicing that counter right hand. I counted that right hand and boom, oops, there it is. But first I would like to say happy birthday to Allison, her 9th birthday, his daughter. I love you. And this was for my grandfather and my father, Henry McCall, and my Jan, my sister. Back down.
Understandably, you're very excited, Oliver. Give us a sense of the fact that you've been a sparring partner for so long. Your best reputation was as a sparring partner for a champion. How difficult was it for you to make a transition this far in boxing?
Well, it's all in the mind. You know, I never was a sparring partner. I'd say that's what Charles said I was. Even all the guys I sparred with in my life, tell the truth, God knows, I've got the better of the rounds, every guy, from Tyson on down. I've done the helping to get them in shape.
All right. The next
and
question
thanks to Don King, the king of the world, he brought me to the top.
The next question is this. You knocked him down. He gets up at the count of 6. He was wobbly. He was glazed.
He would have got knocked out again.
Probably. But
he would have.
But were you surprised that here in his hometown they stopped it that quickly?
No. Hey, what y'all want me to do? Kill the man? Right. See, that's what's wrong now. But like I said, this was the first challenge for not only the heavyweight championship of the world, but between HBO and Showtime. I'm a Showtime fighter. I drew the first blood. I knock out Michael Moore, Riddick Bowe. I come back here, but now I put on my show, so you'll see me again on Showtime, baby.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Oliver. Jim?
All right, Larry, and there you see some of the business of boxing in all of its naked obviousness. Oliver McCall promoting his next television appearance, perhaps on another pay cable service. Well, it's a strange sport, Gil, and you see strange things all the time. You don't want to leap to too many conclusions too fast, but you saw the joy with which Don King embraces his return to a part of the heavyweight championship. It's been a few years, and he's back.
Returned from almost oblivion. Back on top again with a heavyweight champion.
Never count him out. Let's go to Larry Merchant once again, now with Lennox Lewis.
All right, Lennox, give us your version of what happened.
I just got caught with a lucky shot, and the referee seemed to help him along really good.
How dazed, how hurt, how wobbly were you because you looked badly hurt?
I wasn't badly hurt. I was dazed. I got to my feet. I recovered. The referee asked me if I was okay. I nodded yeah. Oliver McCall ain't that good. He's not that good, so don't.
Well, you're not going to convince the people who are out there. He did land a right-hand punch.
He landed a great right-hand punch. It put me on the ground. I tried to get up too fast. I was a little bit wobbly, and all of a sudden the referee just said, "No, that was it."
Did you talk to him? Was he able to communicate with you at all?
The referee couldn't even speak English. When you nod your head, that means yes, you're okay.
All right, let's take a look at this round again, and you describe what happened to you and what your reactions were during it. Did McCall show you anything that you hadn't seen or weren't expecting?
No, not really. You know, Oliver McCall he was staying on the outside. He was actually afraid of my jab. At that point there, I was coming in with my right hand. I was trying to land the right hand. All right, he caught me with a good right hand. I was wobbly. Got to my feet.
6, 7.
I was okay.
8, 9.
Put my hands up. The referee didn't even count.
Well, there was a count there, but he was looking closely into your eyes. I'll give him that. Do you feel that, as the heavyweight champion defending your title, that you deserved some consideration for that? This is a major fight, and that he should have given you a chance, say, even to get knocked out?
Totally. I was really surprised at the referee's decision to stop the fight so early. It seemed like a good opportunity for him to stop the fight. Messed up with Don King, Jose Suleiman, so he took advantage of it.
Are you saying, were you aware of his connection to them before the fight? And if so, why would your people allow a Mexican referee who has never refereed a heavyweight championship fight, as far as I know, to be involved here in your hometown?
You have to realize Jose Suleiman is the president for the WBC, so whatever he says goes. He has a lot of influence with all judges and all referees.
Thank you very much. Are we going to see you again, Lennox?
Yes, I may be down, but I'm not out.
Thank you very much, Lennox. Jim?
And it's worth pointing out that no matter how upset he might be, Lewis has to be somewhat circumspect. After all, if it weren't for the WBC and its particular political machinations in the sport, Lennox might never have had a heavyweight championship belt to begin with.
Well, that's exactly what happened. But he had to stay with the WBC. Again, we had all WBC officials. Whether they're right or wrong, it was a WBC event.
Yeah. Incidentally, the British Board of Boxing Control will not allow us to interview referee Jose Guadalupe Garcia, so we won't be able to hear from him. And if in fact what Lewis says, that he doesn't speak English, is true, then it might not have gained us all that much. But meanwhile, we do have a chance to talk to one of the men from Lewis's management team, Frank Maloney, standing by now with Larry. Larry.
All right, Frank Maloney, you explained to us, did you protest at all the fact that there was a Mexican referee at this event?
We protested strongly. There was a Mexican referee and a Mexican judge to start with. We had the judge removed, and we protested to our board of control that they should have the referee removed. The board said there was nothing they could do. It was the policy of the WBC. We protested to the WBC strongly. Up until the day before the fight, we were still protesting about the Mexican referee.
Since the WBC in effect decreed that Lennox Lewis should be the heavyweight champion, I suppose you live by the sword and you die by the sword.
I suppose that's, yeah. I mean, we were definitely, titles definitely stolen from there. Lennox should have been given the benefit of the doubt and a chance to continue. He was up on his feet with his hands up. He's the champion.
Did you say anything to anybody from the WBC immediately as this happened? Did you try to make any kind of official protest, or will you?
I made a protest to Suleiman himself. Told him exactly what we thought happened and thought how we were stitched up there. We also complained to our board of control, and we're asking them now to take it to official level.
Thank you very much, Frank. Jim and Gil?
All right, thanks a lot, Larry. So out the window, along with a lot of other best-laid plans, goes the chance for Bo Lewis, a rematch of the 1988 Olympic final, the fight which, until a few moments ago, was the one that probably more boxing fans wanted to see than any other potential heavyweight matchup. Next up, Michael Moore against George Foreman in another fight, the validity of which a lot of people question. Beyond that, what do you expect to happen to the business of the heavyweight division with Oliver McCall now holding this belt?
Well, I think a lot of the heavyweights that Larry mentioned are all on the same level. They're all going to be challenging Oliver McCall in the morning.
Yeah, but not fighting him in the morning. In fact, it may be a while. Larry, what do you think is going to happen to the business of the heavyweight division?
I haven't got the foggiest idea. I think that obviously Don King wanted to get a piece of the heavyweight championship back, and he got it. But beyond the politics, I think we ought to make something very, very clear. Oliver McCall did what he did, and he deserves credit. And nothing that we say or that I say takes away from the fact of what he did. We considered him to be a good journeyman prize fighter. He got all of his forces, all of his abilities galvanized for the big opportunity, just as Buster Douglas did in Tokyo on that famous day or night, and he pulled it over. And you have to give him as much credit as you can. It does end in peculiar circumstances, and that's a shame for Oliver McCall, not for Lennox Lewis, because there shouldn't have to be any controversy after he did what he did.
Yeah, McCall's not the first fighter to have exposed Lewis's technical flaws. He's just the one who got the most out of it at this moment.
Yeah, I thought that Lennox Lewis was a little uncharacteristically forceful in this fight and aggressive. He was really trying to make something happen, which is slightly out of his style, I think. Maybe Gil has something to say about that.
Yeah? Do you think that Lewis was fighting the wrong fight?
Yes, I had mentioned that he was fighting with his feet far apart. He was looking to load up with that one big right hand, but when you throw it with your feet far apart, you almost you really are telegraphing the punch, and that's what he did. He telegraphed that right hand, and McCall beat him to the punch. And when you catch a guy coming, he really goes. And you know, as you say, Larry, I think that the referee may have done Oliver McCall more of a disservice than he did Lennox Lewis, because I really think in the condition that Lewis was in and with the emotion that McCall had, he probably would have stopped Lewis and got a lot more credit for this win than maybe he'll get now.
Any final comments?
Once more, the theater of the unexpected.